We are going to send things down to the action. Hello and welcome to the semifinals of Grand Prix Las Vegas. That is Lucas Duco, old school Wisconsin player. That is Pascal Maynard making a run at Grand Prix Player of the Year and made a fairly controversial selection in the top 8. Chat's been blowing up, Twitter's been blowing up, message board threads have started to calculate exactly how much of his odds of winning this tournament did Pascal Maynard give up when he first picked a foil Tarmogoyf instead of a Burst Lightning. If he wins the GP and has the Tarmogoyf, the scoreboard defense is irrefutable, right?
Yeah, but it's always that argument you have, when talking about drafts with people, you rare draft something on Magic Online, so you get it for a deck, and you say, well, would you do this in the top 8 of a GP? Right? Say, oh no, top 8 of a GP, I'd take that card.
All right. Foil Tarmogoyf, though.
Foil Tarmogoyf.
All right, Lucas Duco, meanwhile, we've told this story before, but Owen Turtenwald credits him for being the guy that helped him first get good at Magic. Old school Wisconsin player. And you know what he likes? He likes elementals. He drafted elementals the last time around. He's drafted elementals in this deck. That's Smoke Braider tapping for, is that the Incandescent Soulstoke?
It is, and you'll notice that he has another land tapped as well. That's a Burst Lightning. Burst Lightning, the card that Pascal Maynard almost certainly would have taken over that Tarmogoyf. So Pascal Maynard feeling the bite, perhaps, of the card that he
is that the actual?
Chose not to play.
No, I went the other way around the table. It's probably not the actual Burst Lightning.
Probably not the actual one. Pascal able to refresh his creature forces pretty quick with the Glinthawk Idol. Glinthawk Idol for Pascal, a card he's going to have to mostly pay white mana for. He does have a good number of artifacts, but not.
Yeah, I mean, he's got an equipment theme. He's got 2 Shikaris and a Core Duelist. He's got a bunch of equipment that also combo nicely with the Spike Shot Elder you see there and the Bloodshot Trainee that's in his deck.
So interesting here, Lucas. Kind of relying on that Smoke Raider. He missed his 3rd land drop. He doesn't have a second color of mana at this time. And Pascal Maynard showing that Spike Shot Goblin, which could take that Smoke Raider out if he has another red mana.
Wait, isn't it an elemental and therefore pumped up by the Soulstoke?
Oh, you're right. It is.
Yeah, it's a 2/2 Smoke Braider. Now, Lucas is missing black. Now, unlike most elemental decks, which wind up red-blue, Lucas, I asked Lucas, like, red-black elementals? What's up with that? He says, well, I opened a Profane Command. Like, that card is great.
That card is very,
Too good to pass, was Lucas Duco's conclusion. In fact, his elemental deck is playing black mana as its second color.
Cranial Plating.
Yeah, now the Spike Shot Elder can start shooting everybody down if Pascal can come up with a second mountain.
And he actually has another red mana in his hand here.
Oh, yeah, he has it and he's slow rolling it?
It is a come to play tapped land. So Dismember takes out that Spike Shot Elder, avoiding this possibility.
Yeah, Lucas wasn't interested in waiting for red mana. Knew he was going to have to do that. And yeah.
So Pascal,
come on over for 4 more.
Really good at that Boros Garrison.
Swamp.
Plating, Spike Shot Elder.
Bloodthirsty Gorehorn Minotaur.
Turns totally the other way. Lucas looking like he does have elementals, but maybe a little bit of a Bloodthirst theme here too.
A little bit. I mean, he's black-red.
Right, so he'll have some Bloodthirst creatures. You know, there is a very good red-black hybrid mana creature that's also an elemental, which is
Ashenmoor Gouger.
See Pascal suddenly facing down a whole lot of power on the other side of the board.
What's he holding?
Looks like he's got a Bloodshot Ogre, Plains, a Mighty Leap, and another card I can't identify.
So is it the Mighty Leap? Because I was having this conversation with you. I was looking at the deck list. In my mind, the last card in Pascal's deck, the card that could be a Burst Lightning, is Mighty Leap.
Is a Mighty Leap, yeah.
That is the card that I would that I suspect would not be in his deck if he had a Burst Lightning to play instead of it. I don't know. Would this board be better if he killed a Soulstoke? It's not enough, but it helps.
He might have been able to play it a turn earlier. I don't think he drew it this turn. So here we see the Glinthawk Idol get in for 4 damage, and that allows him to Bloodthirst his Ogre. That Ogre plus a Mighty Leap is a lot of damage. Let's see, Pascal, if he draws if he has an artifact next turn.
second swamp for Lucas.
He could potentially threaten lethal, but oh, wow.
Jeez. Nameless inversion. Oh, the
And
hasty Spite Bellows.
For the win.
For the win.
I have not seen that ability activated this weekend yet.
Wow. Lucas Duco knows all the tricks. Like, he's been drafted just quietly. He's on Magic Online. He played the Magic Online Championships a couple of weeks ago. Didn't have a particularly good weekend, but this is a guy who puts a lot of time in the 8-man queues on Magic Online, and he knows this elemental deck inside and out because he drafted it last time around too.
Yeah, he did not think long before making that play. He said,
No.
I see how this works. I can take that out. The incandescent Soul Stoke there, activating to put an elemental creature card from your hand into the battlefield. Not an ability that is often used on the Soul Stoke because, you have to sacrifice the elemental at the end of the turn. Not a lot of elementals really built just to be thrown out there and then thrown away.
Yeah, mostly this is a Lord, right? This is your elementals are all bigger.
Right, and a great card.
Yeah, no, it is the uncommon you're looking for when you're in the elementals deck.
Yeah, well,
That
particularly good with the creature he was putting out there that time.
Yes.
When it leaves the battlefield, when you have to sacrifice it at the end of the turn, it's going to deal 6 damage.
Yeah, pull that
anyway,
one up too. Spite Bellows, right?
Spite Bellows, yeah. So it happened real fast there at the end. He had an attack for 9. His opponent at 12. Maynard was at 12. So instead of attacking for 9, he put a 6-power creature into play with his 3-power creature. 2-power creature, I guess. A 7-power
Look at the other ability on Spite Bellows too. Like,
right.
If that hadn't been lethal, he still gets to kill things.
Right. There were no legal targets at the time, but this is a pretty powerful play. Yeah, absolutely. This is a tremendous card. So, really neat interaction there. Sort of build your own ball lightning.
Mm-hmm. Man, Lucas Duco up a quick game. We're also shuffling on the back table. I'm sorry, I missed the results on the back table. Aaron won the first game, so the state of Wisconsin is come to play.
Certainly have.
This is not just Midwest. Like, Lucas and Aaron are both Wisconsin-based players.
Now, rumor has it the Wisconsin-based players did a lot of testing of Modern Masters.
Oh,
as
is that
soon as
right?
The spoiler came out.
Wow.
They improvised their own packs.
Nice.
Yeah.
These cards had all been printed previously.
Right. So, they said we want to get started on this now. We can't wait for the cards to come out. We're gonna start practicing drafts.
I wonder if Lucas was in those drafts.
I wonder too.
I'm not sure I'm not sure how much of the social scene he's in these days.
Right.
It's always struck me as recently he's been more of a Magic Online player, but yeah, he's qualified for the Pro Tour. Aaron's qualified for the Pro Tour. These two may wind up testing together. I know that Aaron, was it you that was talking to Aaron about, Team Ultra Pro is the big new news. The Madison, Wisconsin-based Bob Maher has been kind of the center of that team.
Right.
Sam Black, Justin Cohen, Adrian Sullivan. A lot of those guys have come together onto Team Ultra Pro. But Aaron seemed to think Ultra Pro is probably full at this point, and he
Right.
was expecting to test with other Madison area players. Can there be? There's so many of them.
Yeah,
apparently.
really. Well, playing games in the Midwest is part of the reputation there, I think.
Fine tradition. Yeah, the Madison scene just goes back so far too. I mean, Bob Maher obviously in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Brian Kowal back in the day.
Alcohol. Still see him around sometimes.
Mike Ron. So many good players from that area.
Wow, so
Aaron Lewis wants that seat in the finals.
yeah, what an interesting game. He's just tapping out and playing creatures with power and toughness. Meanwhile, David Jetha, his third turn plays a Tumble Magnet. That's not going to get him very far.
Oh,
Plummet.
Good sideboard card. Yeah, I talked to Aaron about this deck after the semifinals. He beat Ben Stark. It helped that Ben stumbled on mana. And we should probably go back to our main match.
That one looking good for Aaron.
Yeah, that one is looking good for Aaron. But Aaron, he felt almost guilty. He's like, my deck's weird. It's blue-white good cards.
Right.
He just kept taking good blue and white cards, arrests and
I was watching over
giant
his shoulder,
flyers and things.
and he seemed constantly tempted by trying to get into some more artifacts, something a little bit more synergistic, but there were just so many arrests and so many good cards coming around.
I mean, the way he explained it to me, there just weren't artifacts that could compete with the colored cards.
There were
he just
artifacts there, but they were nowhere near as
blue,
good.
white, good stuff. All right, that can work.
Pascal Maynard lining up a pretty interesting play here. It looks like he has a land and can cast a Flyer for 3 mana and then line up the Carapace next turn, the Sky Hunter there. Sandra Skirmisher, which is double strike. Next turn, he'll be able to play a land and Copper Carapace and equip it, which is very dangerous
3/3
unless
double strike flyer.
yeah, unless Lucas Duco keeps a mana up and has a Burst Lightning. Oh, he's already spent 1 Burst Blade this game.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many does he have?
Well, people were just passing him around the table, taking foil rares over them, so.
Yeah, his first pick of the whole draft was Profane Command. Just the 1 Burst Lightning. Also has a nameless inversion in terms of instant speed removal.
Andy Lozano also first picked a Profane Command.
We explain some of the fighting.
Yep.
And here's the play you scripted for us. 4th land, Copper Carapace.
We'll
He
see.
equips the double striker that needs help attacking through. But Dismember. That's a
Yeah.
fine removal spell from Lucas.
And what that also does is it means that Lucas has to use his removal spell on the weaker creature.
Exactly.
So, nice play from Pascal there. Lucas having an answer, but also taking some damage. You got to pay life for that Dismember. Wow.
Evokes the Spike Bellows to take down the Skirmisher.
You know, that Smoke Braider has been so key both games. You know what kills a Smoke Braider? I hate to harp on the same point.
No, you don't.
You're right, I don't.
Or should you?
Pascal's still he's got enough creatures, and they really look good wearing that equipment.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lucas's strategy of just trying to kill all the creatures is correct. Right? He wants to try to blank Pascal's equipment. I mean, when you get somebody who's got, 4, 5, 6 creature enhancers in their deck, you just kill all the creatures, and you effectively create these dead cards. You're kind of creating this virtual card advantage.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
a
Lucas's
classic
strategy
tactic,
here.
Yeah, and he's in the right colors to do it. Red and black, obviously, having a lot of removal. Actually, now he has the Smash to Smithereens, so he's just going to make Pascal's creature look kind of
Smoke
embarrassing.
Raider keeps going.
Smoke Raider's
Inner Flame
working
Igniter.
so hard this game. Smoke Raider, it casts the Ghostly Changeling. It evokes the Spite Bellows. It's been everything for Lucas. Pascal way behind on board here. He's got a 2/2. He's mostly out of cards. It's not the look of a man with an exciting plan. I don't think we know what is in Pascal's hand. I haven't gotten to look at it recently. A white card. So the Inner Flame Igniter able to give extra power to all of Lucas's creatures. 1 pump, that's worth 4 damage. If he taps the Smoke Raider, he draws a land, he can use the Smoke Raider to activate it as well. So he can activate it twice and attack with 3 creatures.
Yep. Smoke Raider doesn't just tap for casting elementals, also taps for activated abilities of elementals.
Right. So that's
You can
a
activate
lethal attack.
The Changeling can get
Yeah.
pumped by Smoke Raider.
Exactly.
That is the best common for the elementals deck, or certainly the key common. It gives
Yeah,
you all the
super
synergy.
key. You've seen how effective it's been in these games. Lucas Duco stuck on 2 lands in both games. Didn't have that swamp. Drew it eventually, but operated on just Smoke Raider for a while. So there's a Boros Swiftblade in Pascal's hand. Okay, he's also got the Carapace. Says, this is the best I can do.
Yeah, I mean, his other line was Carapace equipped Sunspear. I think he was afraid to be too all in on that plan.
Right. Well, he's going
Plan
to
just
lose
gets
that race,
destroyed by
probably.
any one removal spell. Lucas says these two. Not the 2-1. That's
He-
too easy of a block by for Swiftblade.
He did draw a land, so
He
can
has
give all
double
his creatures
activation.
+2/+0, or he can pump his changeling 3 times.
3 times,
Make
yeah.
it a 5/5. I think Pascal here, has to offer the Swiftblade in exchange for the Igniter,
How about it?
hoping to use the life link on the Shikari to get back into the game.
Makes sense to me. Pascal lines it up. And yep, Swiftblade in front of Igniter.
And what is
Now-
Lucas's last card?
And
We
now it's
know
just
it's
a
not a
question of
land.
how much mana does he need? Is he saving? Okay, he decides for 1 pump on Changeling.
So he's got some kind of
Something to
3
do
or
with those
4 mana spell. And another
Another
changeling.
Ghostly Changeling.
It's a pretty dangerous board. Both those creatures are able to attack for as much as 5. Pascal going down to 8. Staring down a lot of lethal creatures.
Lucas is hellbent though. He's out of cards.
Pascal,
And he wants the attack in. He wants that life link. He wants that 4 life. He doesn't have good blocks against those changelings, so
does have a Slaughtermaster, which will hold off the Sickle Reaper.
True.
And that's no small shakes. Because that's stopping 2 damage. And now with the pumps, it's really only an attack for 7. Pascal just gained 4.
Mhm.
It's no longer quite as scary. Pascal fighting his way back into this game.
Lucas made, I was going to say, attack with 1, leave the other on defense.
Right. Stop that Sunspear Shikari from getting in.
And Lucas has to keep his mana back to pump the changeling. It's the only way it works as a blocker.
Right. Still, he's certainly advantaged here.
Who is?
Lucas. He's got the ability to get in each turn. You know, like at parity, Pascal can't attack, Lucas can. Copper Carapace also, if you'll recall, reads can't block.
Sure.
So Shikari pinned by the mana in the Ghostly Changeling and also can't be used defensively.
Easy to forget that creatures with a carapace can't block.
That is true.
Oh.
I like this attack from Pascal.
The Slaughtermaster attacks as a 3/3 double striker. So Lucas can go to 2, which doesn't sound great, or he can trade his changeling. If he pumps it up to a 4/4, it'll survive the first strike hit and then trade with regular damage.
Right. He also has the option of chump blocking, but
Yeah,
we'll
he
see him make that
trades.
play. And you know, that works out reasonably well for Lucas. He loses that advantage. Oh, he replaces the Visio Slaughtermaster. But he can only pump 1 changeling per turn, so he got to maximize that changeling. It operated as a 4/4.
Yeah, he can't afford to attack anymore, though.
Oh, wow. So very quickly this is turned around.
Yeah, I wasn't convinced Lucas was very far ahead. The fact was that he's kind of obliged to use all of his mana to leave it all untapped just to have the board at parity.
Right.
Meanwhile, update from the back table. Aaron Lewis through to the finals.
He continues his dominance in this tournament.
Man, blue-white good stuff. Not blue-white artifacts. Not Affinity. Not Metalcraft. Just blue-white good stuff.
Yep, just figured out which
Flyers,
colors were
removal.
available. Oh, there's some good cards in those colors.
Oh, yeah.
So Lucas chooses not to block this time because that changeling holds off the Shikari when it holds the Carapace. And he's going to have to make a decision now. Obviously being at 2 life. These decks are both so fun. I kind of want a game 3.
Sure. Sickle Reaper can attack. You know, trade Shikari for Sickle Ripper? We can trade. No.
He does
so
not.
it's
Pascal,
Menard.
I saw that he's holding a land. And another Ghostly Changeling. Wow, how many of those does he have?
Now he can double pump and trade again.
Yes, he can. And Pascal draws another land.
He's talking land.
because he can only pump twice right now, Pascal can actually equip the Shikari and attack. If
Sure.
Lucas blocks with both changelings, he can pump whichever one Pascal orders second. So
Well,
that
Pascal orders blockers.
Pascal orders blockers, and
And then
afterwards,
Lucas decides who to pump.
yeah, Lucas pumps the one that is being dealt damage to second, making sure that it's big enough. Oh,
You think Pascal should have
Oh,
moved
well.
Carapace and attacked?
yeah,
Because this is a trade.
this is a trade, and
It was not a clean trade the other way. Well, doesn't the double block turn into a clean trade?
it does turn into a clean trade.
Yeah, it would've been a trade
Pascal
either way.
does gain 4 life.
Oh, Pascal would be up 4 life with the other line.
Yeah, I mean, he still wouldn't be able to get through the other changeling. So Pascal in a tough spot. He has. I think that the interesting thing about that play is it does take out one of the changelings. He's probably going to be able to trade with the other changeling too the next turn if he wants to, and it gives him enough life to get a few draw phases.
And Pascal, yeah, the life very relevant here. Lucas, by my count, can attack for 7. Yeah, Pascal cannot spend his mana equipping Carapace because he needs the ability to block. Uh-oh.
Oh,
there's the Profane command. That'll
We will
do it.
Not get a game 3.
It is an all-Wisconsin championship match.
How about that?
And Pascal Maynard does not take the lead in the Grand Prix Player of the Year race. He
Ooh.
got to 31, which used to be first place in the Grand Prix Player of the Year race. But Alexander Hayne